Hey everybody, and welcome back to Erlengrot. It is another day and another crop ready to harvest. As you can see, we are into our cornfield over here on field 3 and getting pretty darn good yields out of this field, I have to say. Basically, I've made it 3/4 of the way around the field, then partly down field on one side before we have completely filled things up. And we're going to be taking 3 of these loads down to the grain mill and see about basically getting the pig food maker up and running. Now I've got a new overloading trailer here, auger wagon, overloader, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to try that and see how that works to get corn into the pig food mixer. If you recall from the first year, we ran into some interesting difficulties on getting the crop into the pig food mixer because we didn't own the land that the pig mixer is sitting on. Pig food mixer does not have a trigger on the ground to dump into, so that means you have to put product into the top of it. And I really wasn't going to scoop 60,000 liters of grain into the pig food mixer with my 900 liter telehandler, or not telehandler, but wheel loader. So I got some belts set up, and I was going to dump it on the ground and let the belts do the work. But I don't own the land that the pig food mixer is on. I couldn't dump on the ground, so I couldn't use the belts. So basically I was resorted to, or I had to resort to basically, not really cheating the grain in, but basically adding the grain via XML and removing it from the silo. And that's how we did it first year. The great comments of YouTube said, why don't you use an overloading wagon or an auger wagon? Basically said, well, I never even thought about that, but that sounds like a great idea, so we're going to try that for our corn. I've gone ahead and added the wheat the old school way by adding 20,000 liters of wheat to the mixer on top of the 10,000 liters of barley that was already there. We have topped off with our barley and wheat cereal, and now we're going to add our corn. I'm going to take 30,000 liters of corn, which won't take any time at all with the yields that we're seeing. Remember, we fertilized all of our fields organically, so we do not have necessarily always perfect nitrogen levels. And we should have pretty darn good pH levels, but we don't have perfect nitrogen levels necessarily. So what we're going to be able to see is kind of a gradient in yield based on nitrogen, but we're going to basically be able to see how sensitive is corn to various nitrogen levels, close to, but not necessarily exactly where they need to be for a given soil type. That ought to be exciting. But yeah, I want to try this out. Haven't even tried this once. See if it works. It should work. In theory, it should work. Good. Swing our pipe out. Walk alongside, and what happens? Outstanding. Outstanding, and if we can see, yeah, we can see from the display window that our counter is going up. This is working great. Anybody wants to know, I found this R wagon on the Giants mod hub, and I think it's really great. I was able to, with the used equipment mod, buy it used, and part of the mod included these used tires. So we got used equipment and used tires. Head on back and, well, another load. The mixer is going to hold 30,000 liters of product of each input. And this grain cart holds just over 10,000 liters. We should have a couple thousand liters left on our third load. We'll just put into our trailer. And we'll use the trailer and put the rest of the crop up in the silo going forward. Sunflowers are not quite ready yet. Not quite, but we're getting there. Hopefully they'll be ready by mid-autumn. Although I have to say our weather is not looking so great for mid-autumn harvest. So let's go ahead and take a look at our precision farming menu. So remember, this field has loam, sandy loam, and a little bit of loamy sand, just a little bit. And you can see our yield, we are right there, 125% yield, maximum yield on our loam crop, sitting at 95%, 100% yield on our sandy loam, loamy sand, and we are sitting there at 80% on our loamy sand. And remember from my how-to video that 100%, oh no, sorry, 80% on loamy sand is about all you're going to get. That is the maximum yield potential of that particular soil. So we are seeing our absolute max yields on this cornfield, which is just absolutely great. Take a look here at our nitrogen levels. You see we've got quite a mix of nitrogen. We've got 180 and 200 nitrogen. This is basically where we just applied nitrogen with our slurry spreader and manure spreader. Over here, we've got then on our sandy or our loamy sand, we've got a mix of 180 and lower 140. And then on our sandy loam, got a mix between 100 and 80. It'll be interesting seeing this mix of yield as we go across these various fertilization levels. We are losing a bit of pH as we move across the field. Is to be expected. Take this pass out because we're sitting at 53%, and that means that when we get to this strip over here, we should be in a position where our pipe is out, not over crop, and we'll be able to then unload the grain. Yeah, I think it's interesting because, again, looking at these pH levels, we're going through pH that is 180 and 200. But we're still seeing yield of 125 across both of those. To get out here, we're going to see, walk through our corn. Oh, it's not telling us. It's not telling us because it's ready to harvest. I was hoping we would see that corn in loam wanted, let's say, 200, and the fact that we were 180, that we were close enough, it wasn't hurting our yield at all. Which is, you know, fairly good to know when you're applying fertilizer organically, is how close do you have to be to the optimal levels, because of course it is applying a fixed amount, not like the mineral fertilizer that applies just the right amount to top you off to the maximum 200 level. It is applying a fixed amount based on soil type, and as a result, you could find yourself a little bit short based on where you started out with as far as nitrogen levels. And I think that's what we're going to find here is as we continue on until we do top off the field with mineral fertilizer. I think what we're going to find is that we'll indeed continue to have ourselves being a little short with respect to overall yield, not yield, but overall nitrogen levels. We won't have a uniformity across the field because we didn't start with uniformity. Let's take a look here at the seasons menu. So today we got good weather. We got good clear skies today. Well, not clear skies, but cloudy skies. No rain. Then tomorrow we've got rain all day on Sunday. We got rain scheduled for Monday. So the rest of early autumn is kind of a washout after today. Tuesday starts mid-autumn. Got 2 good days of weather in mid-autumn, but it's going to take a while for all of that rain to dry the field out. So we might not be able to get into our sunflowers. They are ready to go until Wednesday, maybe even Wednesday afternoon. And then we've got rain on the schedule for Thursday, which is the last day of mid-autumn. And then you can see Friday is the first day of late autumn. So we've got 2 good days of mid-autumn, but we're going to be waiting for the ground to dry out. We've got another rainy day in late mid-autumn. And we've got, you can see visually, is one good day so far in late autumn. Don't know what the rest of late autumn is going to bring. But thankfully we are pretty much set for our silage and hay. So I did go ahead and mow the big plot of grass up behind the sawmill and that big field of grass up on the upper part of the hillside behind the main farm. And we topped off our hay bales, our hay stacks. Got 330 bales of hay at this point, squirreled away for winter and spring. And then I've got almost 700,000 liters of silage squirreled away for the same winter and spring. But we should be pretty much good to go there. While that's unloading, let me show you our animals. Got 151 cows in the dairy barn. Just had another calf, apparently. I cleared those all out this morning. Got another calf there. What? Did I move over some adult cows? Shouldn't have. Where did they go? I lose some cattle and not even know it. So we've got 151 milkers, basically, but 1, 2, short 6 milkers. Where'd they go? But we're making good money on milk. Good money on milk. That's 1 day's worth of milk. We got 133 calves, of which we have about 12 male cows, full calves. So we're going to fatten them up for a year and then sell them off to market. Meanwhile, we're going to continue to grow and mature the females until they start being of age to reproduce. And then once they reproduce, they'll start giving out milk, and we'll just double down on milk production, buddy. I mean, we're going to have over 300 cows providing milk here in the next 2 years. Pigs are doing good. They're steadily fattening up. We need more and more food over winter, which is pretty much why we are here right now. Putting corn into our mixer. One more load, and then it will be topped off. That's pretty much going to be my my day today. I think what I'll do is let you all go at this point, and maybe I'll bring you back this evening. Bring you back this evening as we make our milk run and drop off some milk to the local chocolate shop, local cheese shop, and to the local grocery store. I'll catch you guys later this afternoon. But we have finally gotten the big field of corn harvested If we factor in the amount of corn we took down to the pig feeder, we've totaled about 100,000 liters of corn off of that one field. So that is a really, really good yield. So we're going to have to see if we can't get to the other field of corn down by the biogas plant a little bit later this evening once we complete our milk runs. That's say I usually call in a driver and have him pick up the milk and deliver it for us, but apparently he can't find his keys today, so that's going to leave us to do our milk run manually. Usually he's pretty reliable, but there are some times where he just can't be counted on. I think mostly it's due to the fact that, well, there are some farmers around here that are using John Deeres. One day he called me up and said there was a John Deere that caught fire out here in the streets, and the roads were closed and he couldn't come through and pick up the milk to deliver it. So, there's that. Other days, he can't find his keys. There's just a myriad of just excuses. But it's hard to knock the convenience that having a driver come by and pick up the milk gives you. We don't have to worry about the taking off work or the amount of time that it's going to take us to basically get the milk and deliver it around town every single day. We can focus on feeding the animals in the morning and then figuring out what we got to do out in the fields or around the farm, in the evenings, the afternoons. But milk is going to sour if we don't do something with it. So we're just going to run the milk today. Load over here to the chocolatier. Next up is a load for local cheese place. Some of you may have noticed the icons and the numbers coming up. Wife got me a side panel for Christmas, and I'm trying it out. Took half a day to kind of map out the buttons, how I thought they would work. Because the default mapping was, well, interesting to say the least. Most of the buttons didn't appear to be mapped to anything. And the ones that were mapped seemed to be interestingly so. I've been trying the joystick to move the camera around to hopefully provide a smoother experience than using the trackball. Been trying the joystick to use with the loaders and whatnot. Whoa! This tractor's a little bit light for 18,000 liters of liquid. So next stop, I guess, will be the supermarket. Let's see what I do. Still learning the buttons. Still learning the buttons and things. Yeah, financially, we are in a pretty good straight with this milk going on. I mean, we've got 77,000. That was on Tuesday. That was basically 2 days worth of milk, maybe 3 days worth of milk. No milk there, so 66,000 is 2 days worth of milk. 33,000 is 1 day. Yeah, I mean it is a lot of work for sure in keeping 150 or so dairy cows fed that are producing milk. $30,000 a day, 9-day seasons. That is what, 36 game days times $30,000 a day. Those cows are more than paying me back for going nearly an entire year without being profitable. And then the fact that I've got about 120 female calves that will be giving me milk in about 3 years, because they have to grow to age 2 years of age to start producing milk, and then it's going to get pregnant, and then 9 months after that, so almost 3 years, before they start producing milk. But they're free. I didn't pay anything for them. So I've got to wait basically 4 game years from where I started to make use of those cattle. But they're free cattle. More than double. Well, easily double my milk production over time. I'm going to have male calves, bull calves if you will, that I can sell after I raise and fatten a little bit. Pure profit there. So if you've not played with animals in Farm Sim, you really should look into it. And I mean, they really will pay off in the long run. Where is the... Oh, there is the cheese place. Like I said, I've got a driver who comes, does this for me most days. And as a result, I've kind of forgot around town where things go. Goes that. Check the prices screen. And I've kind of spread the milk around. I haven't bothered with going to the highest paying price, but see the cheese factory $7.21, chocolatier $7.31, supermarket $7.25, and the grain mill, for whatever reason, is paying $7.56 for milk. So today we're well above 30,000 because prices are good. Still have 9,000 liters of milk. Another half load. Alright guys, so that's going to do us for another video here on Orland Garot. Hope you guys are liking the videos, liking the series. Trying to figure out what we can do so we just don't repeat year 1 into year 2 and then into year 3, but there's only so much variation that you can do. Let me know in the comments how you liking the series. What do you want to see? Is there anything interesting you'd like to see us do in the series as we move into winter of season 2 and then season 3 or year 3? And again, I think we're going to run this through 3 years and then move on to something else. So until next time, happy farming.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.